g'day and welcome to another episode of Catch and Cook. My name is Ron Smith, this is Damien the Bruisey. And good morning viewers, good morning Damien. We're out here in Western Port, we're on the Quail Bank, which is up the top end of the North Arm. And this isn't how we planned on opening tonight's episode, but hey, we're running with it. And Damien, you got yourself a nice squid there,
yes, mate. Excuse me.
So we've just come to this beautiful location, like I said, top end Western Port. And we're going to try for the leather jackets today and put out a line for squid as well. Because you never know, there's some good squid that hang around this Quail Bank area. It's very weedy and it's a prime area for specimens like that. Nice one, mate.
Just let him do his business over the side.
That's a good way to open tonight's episode of CNC, Catch and Cook. Good job, buddy.
Get rid of these tangles. And there he is.
Excellent.
That's it.
Well,
it's a good opener.
I believe your mum and my wife, they requested squid.
They did.
So they're getting the squid tonight for dinner. So we'll get this guy in the tank, sit back and relax. We hope you enjoyed tonight's episode of Catch and Cook out here in the Quail Bank, Western Port. Hopefully get a few more of those and a few leather jackets as well. Well, what we're going to do, like I said at the start of tonight's episode when Damien caught that nice squid, we're going to actually try for leather jackets on tonight's episode, something a little bit different. A basic bread and butter species in here in Western Port. It's winter time, it's cold, it's halfway through August 2014, so spring's not far away. So that was our idea today, was to come up here on the Quail Bank, find a nice weed area, anchor up and we'll burley. Now, when it comes to the burley side of things, we basically have one of these burley cages which we get from Gotcha Bait and Burley. I've just put like a netting in there, just like a sock, so I can actually put some burley inside that and it won't disperse so quick through the holes. So it just sort of slows down the burley process a little bit. And in that cage, we've got just some pellets that are available through Gotcha as well. You get these pellets now, these are ideal for snapper, ideal for whiting as well. They're just like a nugget. So we'll put some of them in that sock. And as well, we have some 100% pure pilchard as well. This stuff's very oily and it's great. It's basically just a pellet mashed up with pilchard as well and has plenty of good smell. So we'll get some of that into the sock and we'll get it on the bottom and start burling. Still fake knot in it, because I'm going to put more in it. So there we go, we've got our burley bomb or burley cage full of the nice stuff from Gotcha Bait and Burley. Now I've just simply attached it with a piece of cord, so we'll just lower it down. We go for a really thin cord so you don't get too much drag in the water. You don't really want to go a rope, because rope will obviously catch a lot more water and create drag in the water, so you just go a nice thin string. And that's it, it's on the bottom. Give it a few good bounces, get the burley happening, and it shouldn't be long and we should have bent rods. Alright, so what we're going to do, I've got myself some kamikaze fishing gear here, just a little spin rod. And all I've simply tied onto that is a paternoster rig. It's got two droppers. There's one down near the sinker, and then there's one up higher, a little dropper with a little long shank hook, and just a little glow bead. Now the glow bead, I'll say this, the glow bead actually isn't there for its glowing principles. Because I've tied a loop knot in my paternoster rig, that just helps hold the rig nice and straight out like so it won't get tangled. A piece of tubing would also do the same thing, so that's really why I've put it on there, not for the attractants that a bead might do. It's actually to help the rig sit more erect out from the line. Now down on the bait board we have some Gotcha bait and we have some salted pilchards as well as pippies. I'm just going to do tiny little, basically what we like to call them is suicide baits. That's right, Damien, suicide baits?
That's it, mate.
Yes, that's what we like to call them. Just little baits, just enough so the fish will come along and hopefully swallow it, not so much pick at it. So we'll do a little piece of pilchard on the bottom hook, and then on the top hook, whilst I'm getting tangles down there, just a little piece of pippy as well. So that's my baited paternoster rig, piece of pippy on the top, little piece of salted pilch on the bottom, and just a small little sinker. We're only in 2.5 metres of water, so it's just enough to get it down there. Let's see how we go. So we're using long shank hooks, so ideally in this form of fishing you want to actually fish with the rod in your hand as opposed to fishing with circle hooks where you can sit the rod down in the holder and wait for the fish to obviously swallow the bait and they hook themselves. So this is a little bit of action-packed fishing, always fishing with long shank hooks. You sort of need to hold the rod, so as soon as the minute you feel a bite you set the hook. So here we go. So what we've done up here on the bait board, we've got our bait, obviously, yeah, got your bait, but we have some squid lines also way at the back. And this hand line just slightly moved, but maybe he just picked up the bait and just dropped it. That's being a squid. We'll just keep our eye on that for the moment. So we're actually getting quite a few little taps, a few little bites. Leather jackets are a hard fish and a funny fish to catch. They sometimes just do little tap, 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 taps, and it's not until you actually apply a little bit of pressure that you realise you've got a fish. We'll just get this back down the bottom. I've actually just lost two off camera. Damien just lost one as well. So we're on the bottom there. We just bounce it just a little bit just to make sure the sinker is on the bottom and our line's nice and tight. We'll see if we can get a live hook up. Just bouncing along. They can actually come up and they can take your bait sometimes and you don't even know. You won't even get any movement on the rod at all.
That's exactly what just happened to me.
Yeah, they're cheeky, aren't they?
Yep.
So you've got to be on your game. Oh, dropped him. Well, I did have one on. I've still got a little bit of bait on there, so I'll drop it back down. They're being so finicky. I was just saying to Damien, it's as if they come and pick up your bait and they swim forward a little bit to take the pressure off the line. A lot of the time you don't feel them bite at all. You go to bounce your sinker and there's weight there. Get little taps. That's a fish. There we go. That's what we're chasing. Little leather jackets. Now they're not monsters, we can plainly see that. They're not big fish. But they're still good fun. You can bring the kids out here and do this form of fishing. Bring a lot of bait because you're going to need it. Because these guys really do chew through your bait. That's a beautiful little 6-spine leather jacket. He's not happy. Like I was saying, the leather jackets live amongst the weed. You also catch them around timber wharves and jetties, and they love pylons. They go up to a pylon, being the timber structure of a pier, and they use this big nasty scratcher on top, I suppose you could call it, and they rub it up against the pylon, and off come all little pieces of cungy and weed and stuff, and then they go in and they munch it all up and have breakfast, have lunch, whatever they do. But it's little 6-spine. You probably can't see it on the camera because he's only a small fish, but on the base of his tail there, they have 6 little spots. And that's where they get their name from, obviously, 6-spine leather jacket. So we'll pop this little guy back and we'll throw it over to commercial break, and we'll see you back here shortly on the Quail Bank in Western Port, the North Arm. Get a few more of these.